زمان المسلم الأندلسي.
Saygıdeğer Respect Graduate School Rektörü Süleyman Eriş Hocam, Risale ve Hizmet Araştırmaları Merkezi Direktörü Kerim Balcı Hocam. Bugün buraya gerek makale ve sunumlarıyla, gerek müzakereci olarak katılan kıymetli hocalarım.
The speaker is the coordinator of the Divan, Chara Adil, and he started his speech with thanks to the president of the Respect Graduate School and the coordinator of the Divan. My name is Chara Adil. I am the coordinator of this Divan. In the time given to me to speak about I'm going to touch two topics. The first issue is about the late Fethullah Gülen Hoca Efendi, when he listed the characteristics of the people who are going to be inheritors of the earth, placed art and artistic understanding as the eighth attribute, but he didn't continue on the details of this issue. We have to underline that it is the nearly 30th year of the writing of this article, but we still can say that we are still far away from this particular aim. When the time has changed today, it is millions of artworks is available to us. It is not in the past time in the billboards, in social media, in the streets, advertisements. We are actually exposed to artwork, but we need art more than ever. Because art does something nothing else can do. It suits out our longing for what does not exist here. The spiritual void within us can only be filled through art. Especially today, people have deep inner spiritual worlds which cannot easily be expressed through mundane, everyday emotions. One can truly understand themselves as express their inner world only through an elevated pursuit such as art. We need to embrace and love and appreciate art as soon as possible. A few months ago, I visited the workshop of Dr. Refi Kileci. By the way, he's going to be one of the presenters today. I learned a fascinating fact that I never heard or even imagined before. He told me that the Arabic letter alif, the first letter of the alphabet and the origin of all other letters, is not actually straight. Yes, contrary to common belief, alif is not a perfectly straight line. With a slight curvature of half a dot, its back leans leftward, and it heads bows downward. So Aleph is the issue is not whether Aleph is straight or not, but the real issue is we fail to see this, and more painfully, we do not even care. Just as a person who does not read and learn cannot truly love anything, we too cannot appreciate Aleph. One must learn to find beauty in the subtle curve of Aleph and appreciate that one. So even a participant in Hizmet should every participant in Hizmet at least once pick up a reed pen, a qalam, and attempt to draw an Aleph. Thus, the purpose of the Art and Aesthetics Divan is to serve as a spark for the revival of Islamic artistic thought and prepare for the re-establishment of an artistic perspective as part of a civilization building efforts. The second topic on why art has to be a topic of this Divan meeting, the speaker refers to the Iranian sociologist Ali Shariati, who famously say, "I have come to disturb you. I am neither heroin nor hashish, but to make people feel comfortable." If you ask me, the purpose of this Divan meeting is exactly this. We want to disturb you. As we have stated repeatedly, the Divan is a platform for discussion and deliberation. No one should expect to leave the meeting feeling relaxed or entertained. On the contrary, if participants leave feeling unsettled and ready for change, then the program will have succeeded. Now, what will happen in these 2 days? Today we are going to listen to the presentations, and tomorrow we will be discussing the final statement of the Divan. For all these efforts, I extend my gratitude to our dear moderator Asiye Betül Hoca, the public face of today's program, and the article authors Dr. Refik Kileci, Dr. Ali Karatay, Mehmet Aydınlı, Dr. Mehmet Gümüşkılıç, and Ekrem Aydın. The thanks go to the esteemed scholars who kindly accepted our invitation to serve as discussants, and to the rapporteur team, and of course to Emine Eser, who entrusted the coordination of this divan to an 18-year-old. Çağrı himself is 18. Now he's introducing us to Asiye Batul, who lives in Scotland, Glasgow, who is studying philosophy and theology. She worked previously in Respect Graduate School as an assistant for the teachers.
Öncelikle bu yaşınızda böyle önemli bir rol aldığınız için sizi çok tebrik ediyorum.
Asiye Betül took the word. She thanked Çağrı and congratulated her.
Sizleri içtenlikle selamlıyorum. Bu 2 günlük programda İslam sanatının yeniden dirilişini farklı açılardan ele alacağız. Değerli akademisyenler ve sanatçılarla derinlemesine tartışmalar gerçekleştireceğiz inşallah.
In these 2 days we are going to have discussion.
Zamana dikkat ve farklı fikirlere saygı. İçerik çok dolu ama zamanımız oldukça sınırlı. O yüzden
we do have a very tight schedule, so we are going to try to try to keep by the timeline. So we ask our participants to speak only as long as we give them time. It's not only the views of the speakers and the discussants are important. Your views and ideas are also important for us. Let us look at the daily agenda of today. We will start with an evaluation of the survey that we had participants filled before, and then we will present the articles, and then after 3 articles are presented, we are going to have discussions. We are going to have 10 minutes breaks after the discussion. At the end of the day, we are going to make the very first discussion for the final statement, but this is not going to be the final statement. We are going to send this one in the night to your addresses so that you can see this template for the final statement, and we will eventually tomorrow discuss on it, and we will be voting every single one of the final statement. And one particular exciting program tomorrow is going to be the Kahoot, which has an award. Now the speech is for the rector of Respect Graduate School, Süleyman Eriş.
Şu an sesim geliyor mu acaba?
Evet hocam, geliyor.
Değerli Sanat ve Estetik Divanı katılımcıları, Respect Graduate School rektörü olarak bu divanı mümkün kılan bütün katılımcılarımızı en kalbi sevgi ve muhabbetlerimle selamlıyorum. Divan, geçtiğimiz 2 sene içerisinde göç, çevre, demokrasi, yapay zeka etiği ve gençlik gibi hizmetimizin ve insanlığın geleceğinde son derece kritik rol oynayacak meselelerle ilgilendi. Organizatörler zaman zaman acaba sesimizi duyanlar var mı diye endişelendiği belki de tahminlerinizin konusu olabilir. Lakin hizmet hayatı çocukların varoluş mücadelesi içindeyken bu tür konularla meşgul olmak gereksizmiş gibi görülmüş olabilir. Ancak yeni bir medeniyetin temelleri de
As Chancellor of Graduate,
eski
I
medeniyet
heartfelt
tezi
thanks to
sırasında
all
var.
parts we have Divan possible.
Bugün
Over the past
sanat
2
ve
years,
estetik
the
konusunun ele
delve precisely
alınması
in
bu
migration, the
çerçevede
environment, democracy,
oldukça heyecan
the
verici
ethics of
geliyor.
artificial intelligence and youth issues,
Elbette hemen
to role in
yarın
the future of
insanımızın
that movement
sanatla
of
meşgul
the humanity.
olmasını
I
beklemek
imagine that the
belki
organizers were
mümkündür.
worried from time to time,
Ancak bu fikirlerin
wondering if anyone would hear
zamanla
their voice
bakın
as it may seem
yeryüzü
there to engage with
mirasçılarının yolunu
issues and
aydınlatacağına
demographics to
göstergeler.
engage in extension struggle, but the foundations of civilization are laid
Hatırlayacağınız üzere
precisely
yeryüzü
in the
mirasçıları
previous one.
8. ve
In the
son
context that I've signed is
sanat
exactly that the
gecesi.
subject of art and aesthetic is being
Oysa ki
discussed today.
Fethullah Gülen
Of course, people
vazifeli
will not start thinking art
1994 yılında
but I believe that
yeryüzü
these ideas will
mirasçılarının vazifesini
accumulate over
yazarken
time on
bu
illumined
vasıfa
path
gelince yazmayı bırakmış
of
ve
Earth.
muhataplarının
As you may
hala
remember,
böyle bir
this
yolculuğa
last
hazır
qualification of the
olmadıklarını
inheritance of the Earth was the
gerekçesiyle
qualification of artistic
söylemek
thought.
istediklerini söylememişti. Aradan geçen onca yıldan sonra
Unfortunately,
halen
Glenn
soru
Hodgson was
anlayacak
writing about the
bir
qualities of the
getirme
inheritors of
görevi de
Earth in 1994.
o son sözü
He
söyleme
stopped writing when he
vazifesinde
came to this
faydalı
quality and
görülüyor.
did not say what he wanted to say on the ground.
Sanat ve
Instead,
estetik düşüncesinin
interlocutors
gelişiminde
were not yet ready for such a
fikrini
journey.
evrensel
30 years
bir
past,
dille
the
temsil etmek
task of
isteyen her
saving an audience
hareketin
that will understand
gündeminde
words
olmuştur.
and the task of saying that last
Müziğin,
words are both waiting for
resmin,
their owners.
sinemanın,
Development of an idea of art and
edebiyatın
aesthetics should
evrensel dili,
be of any movements
tıpkı
that wants to
felsefenin
convey
evrensel
its
dili
message in
kadar
universal
önemli.
language.
Sanat sadece bir haz
The
duyma
universal
mekanizması
language
değil,
of
aynı
music,
zamanda öğrenme
painting,
ve
cinema,
öğretme
literature
mekanizmasıdır.
is as important as universal language of
Güzel bir
philosophy.
zarf
Art is not only a
mazlumu
mechanism for
öğrenmiştir.
pleasure, but also a mechanism for
Güzel
learning and
hakikatler
teaching.
güzel
Beautiful envelope
sözlerle,
beautifies
güzel
its content.
resimlerle,
Beautiful truths become.
güzel bir
But the more beautiful
metotla
when
ifade
they're expressed with
edildiklerinde
beautiful words,
daha da
beautiful
güzelleşir.
pictures, beautiful music.
Sanat yolculuğumuz belki gecikmiş olabilir. Ama büsbütün de atıl geçmedi geçen
Our
yıl.
artistic journey may have been delayed.
Destek Graduate
These
School
30 years
bünyesinde
have
çok
not been
sayıda mesleki
idle. For example,
beraber sanatı ve makam
we
dersi
organize
gibi nice
courses
dersler
such as
düzenledik
collegiate
bugüne kadar.
music, art of
Geçtiğimiz
recitation,
dönem
makam
düzenlenen
management,
sanat ve estetik
respect,
düşüncesi
graduate
dersimiz
school.
de yeryüzü
Last semester's course
mirasçıların
on art and
vasıfları
aesthetic thought
çerçevesinde ele alınmış bir
was a
dersti.
course on the qualities of inheritance of Earth.
Sanat ve Estetik Divanı'nın sonuç bildirgesinin de en azından Respect Graduate
You
School'un ilgili departmanlarınca takip edileceğinden emin
can
olabilirsiniz.
go
Kısa bir
that
sonra
the final
kurumsal
declaration of
akreditasyonu
art and
aldığında Respect
aesthetics
Graduate
will
School
be followed at
sanat
least by
faaliyetlerine
relevant
ve
departments of
sanatla ilgili
graduate
derslere
schools.
daha
When
fazla
respect
vakit ve
schools
efor
receive
ayırabilecek
institutional
bir duruma
accreditation in the near
getirecektir.
future, it will be in position to
O
devote
gün
more time and
geldiğinde
resources
de
to
bu
artistic
divanda alınan kararlar
activities and art-related
başlangıç
courses.
noktası
And that there
olarak
comes, I believe
kabul
that we can take the
edilebileceğinizi
decision taken
umuyorum.
at this one as a starting point.
Bu
With this feeling,
duygularla hepinizi yeniden
I
selamlıyor
greet you all
ve
once again.
Divana
Wish the
yeni
divine success.
katılımcılarına başarı ve sevgilerimi iletiyorum.
Çok teşekkürler Süleyman Hocam.
Thank you very much, Dr. Süleyman Eriş.
Ele alınacak olması gerçekten çok heyecan verici.
Your promise that the views that are presented here will be taken serious by academics. This is an encouraging promise indeed. Now we are going to, I'm inviting Munise Enis to present the findings of the survey on art and aesthetics.
Hepinizi saygıyla selamlıyorum.
Good afternoon. My name is Munise Enis.
Sanat ve Estetik Divanı için yaptığımız anket sonuçlarının sunumunu yapacağım inşallah.
I'm going to present the results of the findings of the survey we prepared for the Art and Aesthetics Divan.
Hareketindeki konumunu tespit etmek amaçlı yapılmıştır. Anketimize 110 kişi katıldı ve 12 sorumuzdan 4'ü açık uçlu, 8 tanesi de çoktan seçili.
110 people participated in our survey. The aim of the survey was to realize how people are relating themselves to art and aesthetics. As you see on the screen, 61% of the participants were male and the rest female. By means of the ages, the smallest group was between 18 and 24.
25-35 yaş
Largely,
oluşturuyor.
the larger groups were 45 and
Evet.
over.
Üçüncü soru,
As by
dördüncü
means
soru
of
ise
the
katılımcının
distribution
eğitimini
of the
öğrenmek.
participants
Sorumuz
in
açık uçlu sorular.
education, this
Ve
was an open end question.
üniversite mezunu olarak ikinci sırada
About half
24
of all
kişi
our
ortalamada
participants were
lisans eğitimi süresince
graduates of
Üçüncü soruda
university,
yaklaşık %10
and about
ile dereceli eğitim seviyesinde.
36% of the participants had either an
Dördüncü
MA
sorumuzda
or
da
a PhD. This is an
yurt
amazing number, of course,
sorduk.
far over than the average of the general
Yüzde
society. We asked the
5.6
people
orta gelir
about their income levels, and
oranında
about
düşük gelir.
70% were medium. About 26.6% declared they are low income, and only a small minority were of high level income, and she wishes more income to the participants. Now, the very first question was about the place of art in your life. Evaluate the place of art in your life. Almost 50% of the participants said that I really want to engage with art, but I don't have time. Most of the people do not have time to deal with art. 38.5% suggested that they do engage with artistic activities in every opportunity.
Evet, neden sanat sarmaz? Neden sanat icra etmeyiz? Neden sanat icra
The second question is why we are not interested in art. Of course, this is largely an answer that is coming from people who are not interested in art. 64% says lack of time. 21% says 21 people said financial constraints. An even larger group were feeling inadequacy or incapacity to deal with art. The seventh question was an open-ended question. So the categories were created only after the answers were garnered. If the first question is, if you are dealing with art, why? The very first group of answers were about spirituality. So largely these people wanted to represent the art of the divine authority in their work. This second level is because Fethullah Gülen Hoca Efendi promoted art in their understanding. At the second layer, we see personal career development or psychological impacts, psychological regions to deal with art. The third reason to deal with art is dialogue activities, because art is a bridge between segments of the society. And the desire to reach to the segments of society through festivals and sharing art and sharing cultural heritage with others. At the fourth level, aesthetics, imagination, and love for art. And at the first level is personal abilities and personal inclinations, because I was interested in art from the very early ages, and also the fact that art is an effectual influential communication mechanism was also one of the reasons why people were interested. So people were asked whether art can be a source of income. So people were asked actually the question whether they would want their children to make a living from art, and 80%, over 80% said yes. About 15.5% suggested they abstain to answer this question. And the presenter says, we beg you to continue on preventing your children to deal with art. There was a question, the ninth question, about which which form of art is actually most influential on the society and leads to change in the society. The first level was given to music and then to film industry, and only after then to literature. At the fourth level was theater. The question about how do you evaluate the support Hizmet movement gives to art, a majority of the participants, about 60%, suggested there is a certain level of low level, but certain level of support. About 20% suggest that they are not sure about it. So the adequate support from Hizmet movement is only about 14%. The presenter suggested this is very low. This needs to be corrected. Again, another open-ended question about support to art. This was asked as a second question after the previous question. If you believe that Hizmet is not giving enough support to art, what can be done to increase this support? Again, the answers were categorized. In the first category was education and raising awareness. This suggested that we need cultural centers to increase the courses provided on art and raise awareness on art. The second was financial support and resource support for art. So this includes sponsorships and bursaries provide to the future of artists. And they suggested that the cultural centers should provide courses on art free of charge. On the third level, there was they suggested that the Hizmet movement should raise awareness on the importance of art by suggesting that the time spared for art is not wasted, and it shouldn't be judged, but it should be supported. And at the fourth level, Hizmet can actually help find people who are able in art, who do have capacity in art. So these people can be coached, provided mentorship and guidance in how to take further education on art. And at the third level is a systematization of support and maybe institutionalization of support for the artists, so establishment of platforms and associations for Hizmet-related artists was a suggestion. Another question about the relationship between Hizmet and art. The question was asked this question: which forms of art can be used in mentoring, in dialogue activities, in education, and human rights activity? There were a lot of answers to this, so I'm going to give you a brief of the answers. First of all, Hizmet has to utilize art in every area of Hizmet. In general, that needs to be used to improve qualities of Hizmet movement. In particularly activism, social activism, and human rights advocacy, we can use art in order to raise awareness in among the public. And in activist Hizmet areas, we can also use art because the communication is largely a visual communication in our days, so we can organize artistic events in activism. When we are speaking about dialogue and communication, this can be used in interfaith dialogue, but it also can help the traditional Islamic arts like Abru, marbling, and Islamic music can be bridges between societies. Then again, an answer, art for individuals. We should not always look at art as a tool, but it also is as a window to the internal lives of individuals. So it is not the youngsters particularly should not be only the target of artistic activities. They should be participants of artistic activities. So in our cultural centers, we should provide that one. We should have an interactive approach to forms of art like theater, forum theaters, and so on. The last question, the last answer was about how arts can be used in areas of mentoring and education. We should provide more learning opportunities like movie theaters, animation, drama, art workshops, and so on for the youngsters. And headhunting should be also a part of this. Our mentors should be looking at abilities of the young generation in order to support their training in arts. We are thanking all the participants to our survey. Okay, a longer version of this presentation will be sent to you together with the final statement.
Çok teşekkürler Münis Hocam. Gerçekten sanatın hizmet içerisinde algısı üzerine önemli noktaların altını çizdiniz. Teşekkür ediyoruz.